And we are back. Welcome to a mini episode of the Premier League predictions series. Today we'll be talking about the two remaining fixtures from Game Week 25. One of them rearranged from Christmas and the other brought forward from this weekend due to the League Cup final. If you missed yesterday's Champions League predictions and you want to know what I've gone for tonight's Champions League and tomorrow's Champions League games, make sure to check out the video I posted yesterday morning at this time with all of the predictions for those four games. But like I say, today we're just here to talk about the two remaining Premier League fixtures. So if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. We will, of course, have our Europa predictions on Thursday before the Premier League predictions on Friday, and then my predictions for that League Cup final coming up this weekend as well. Let's get straight into it. Two more Premier League games in Game Week 25. And we'll start off with tonight's game between Manchester City and Brentford. This game rearranged from Game Week 19 because Manchester City were at the Club World Cup at the time, a tournament that they did in fact win. They're taking on Brentford for the second time in 3 weeks. It was a 3-1 win to Manchester City away at Brentford a couple of weeks ago with an incredible hat-trick from Phil Foden. A brilliant performance from him, certainly an individual performance from him. Brentford, of course, have then backed that up with a good away win, but then beaten 4-1 at home by Liverpool at the weekend. So a rough fixture for them at the weekend. A rough fixture for them today, should I say, off the back of a bad fixture for them at the weekend. It is worth noting that, of course, Brentford did win at Manchester City in this fixture last season, but I just think they're not really at it at the moment, Brentford. Like I say, they did have a good win after the game against City, but the performance against Liverpool really wasn't a good one. Yes, they probably should have had a penalty, but I don't think that would have made too much difference to the overall scoreline. Manchester City, of course, had a poor performance against Chelsea. I say poor performance, it was more a poor result. They definitely should have won that game. Erling Haaland with the most XG of any individual player not to score in a Premier League game with 1.75, I think it was, expected G just for Haaland. And well, can you guess that I put him as my triple captain in fantasy football? And the curse continues. For those of you who don't know, whenever I triple captain a player, they do absolutely nothing. So we'll see what happens tonight. Will Haaland finally break my curse? Will Manchester City get their revenge on Brentford, and will they strengthen their title credentials once again by bouncing back from that defeat against Chelsea, or draw, should I say, with Chelsea? It probably felt like a defeat for them. I think they are. I'm going to go for 3-0. As much as I'd like to see Brentford do something at the City Stadium once again, I just don't see it happening tonight. I think City are going to be out for blood. They're going to want to put in a performance. And also, they can't afford to drop more ground on Arsenal and Liverpool the way those two sides are playing at the moment. So I think they are going to get the win this evening. And I'm going to go for 3-0. Tomorrow's game, I think, is a little bit more interesting. And I'm not just saying that because I have a little bit of bias towards Luton and a little bit of bias against Liverpool. You have to look at the fact that it was a 95th minute equaliser from Luis Diaz in the reverse fixture at Kenilworth Road a few months ago. And it was an equaliser. You know, Luton were literally seconds away from winning that game against Liverpool. And they put up a good fight in every single game they play, apart from when they're playing bottom of the league, Sheffield United. But I don't know. I definitely think Luton can cause Liverpool problems. I would still expect Liverpool to win. I mean, obviously, you would expect Liverpool to win this game, especially at home, especially under the lights at home. As we all know, their record at Anfield in the evening games is very, very good. But you know Luton are going to go there with the game plan of being rough, being physical, basically hurting the Liverpool players, not allowing them to build up any momentum, and they'll pick their moments to strike. And I do think Luton will score, because Luton do tend to score. They've scored in their last 12 games in a row, which is an incredible achievement for a side that is trying to stay up. It's just whether or not Luton can keep out Liverpool as long as they need to, which obviously they couldn't do at Kenilworth Road, and obviously it's going to be much harder to do that tomorrow night. So obviously I would love to see Luton get the result, again, as a partial Luton fan, and obviously I want Liverpool to drop points as well. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool could just turn up and roll Luton over like they have so many teams at Anfield over the course of the last few years. But like I say, you got to look at the respect that Luton have not really been beaten by more than one goal. I think it's been on more than 2 occasions. I think it was Brighton on the opening day, and I think it was the Sheffield United game a couple of weeks ago. The only times Luton have lost by more than 1 goal in the Premier League this season. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but they're dogged, they dig in, they create chances, they score goals, and they do make it hard for the opposition to score. I just don't think it'll be enough to get a result at Anfield. I mean, let's be realistic. Liverpool should be winning this game. And that is my predictions for these two games. Obviously, I don't think many people are going to be too surprised that when you have quite literally the best two sides in the Premier League from the last 5 or 6 years coming up against two potential relegation candidates, both at home, I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised I've gone for the 2 home wins. But it still should be interesting. That is the joy of the Premier League, that there are still opportunities for those lower sides to cause some problems to the big sides in the Premier League. But a massive couple of days in the title race. Who's going to come out on top? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching as always. I will see you Thursday morning for my Europa predictions.